Firstly, how are you? How have you been since then?
I think the break makes me really good. In the beginning, I was a bit I would say frustrated by the decision, but with the time, honestly, I found some joy, and I didn't do the things what I usually don't do. I don't. I mean, like to travel, to meet people, like to use many free moments like to talk to my family, so if I have to repeat like all this period, probably would be really hard like to really flash back and understand where I've been, but also like it was a combination with preparing, working for what is coming, and now I'm here.
What did you do during that break? Did you also watch the games of Monaco, the Final Four?
Yes, I watched everything. I was in the Final Four, like also I was there, traveling and watching, like playoff games in Madrid, in Athens, being in Dubai, like many places. Really, I cannot repeat all. Sometimes, like especially on the EuroLeague level, when you have, so many trips and so many games, it's definitely must have, break. In Monaco with the French League, with everything, we had the most games, like in all Europe. With this must win every game, the pressure grows, with the years. As I said, I really did, good things, for me, physically, mentally, preparing, for what is coming, the way I wanna, like think, behave, approach the things, like all this, like modified in this period.
When they qualified for the final, how did you react?
Tactic part, like of chemistry, part of, growing with them, like actually systems, you have to feel part of this, was not every time easy, like here, because in one moment you always think that, this belongs to you.
Then you had that opportunity with Red Star. How did you react when you had this opportunity to coach?
I didn't think too much because it's completely different, like situation comparing the first time I've been here, because it was Corona, no fans, and actually not the strongest team. Now we have, really potential to build up something, serious. We have, like the good roster, I would say now with a lot of injuries, but still good individuals, good people, and really looking forward to see the full roster, like the way I'm going to handle this moment. Of course, minus, if I'm not mistaken, 6-7 players in rotation, and who's supposed to have, their role. It looks scary, for the future, but I get used to this, like I get used to some kind of reactions, like I have to react, like on the momentum, the situations which like the different situations giving me, but I'm not afraid. I think like the experience I learned, like also from the previous 20-some years, like could be crucial, like in having like a good let's say communication with the guys.
You grew up here in Serbia. What does this represent? Is it even more special to be on that bench, on that side?
Definitely, I grew up, like here. It's like a special emotion, like really, I mean, I know how I feel when everything is done and gone, like here. When I get back home, I reflect, like those, let's say, good moments get me, on the another level of, joy, let's say. But as I said, one is the job, which you have to do, let's say, without emotion, very professional, disciplined, dedicated. There are some free time when you think about, like how much people loves you here. I really enjoy this. As I said, like one thing is winning something with foreigner team. Another thing is, like winning something, like important with your home I do everything, like to do my best, like and heading to the big goals. But I'm not gonna be disappointed if I'm not reach it, because it's 100% that I cannot give more. So a special emotion exists, like somewhere in the middle of my heart, but the rest mind has to be really clear.
What's your objective this season?
Last year they were in play-in, like the situation, but they never had any win in playoff. Playoff, like definitely should be the target. We have, like let's say potential, like to do really a lot. But the things are okay. It depends from many things. In this moment, we are not in the best moment, with injuries, like many other teams, and that can change. Like when we get back, like actually. Starting lineup, when you talk about who we missed, I think more quality and more expectations. The way we handle this, like the way we, put everybody in a good important role. It's okay, key for success.
Did you speak with the players? Did you evoke like all the objectives?
Yes, I put all the time, like in Monaco, I put, Final Four objective, and that's it, like we have a big goals, we should not escape from big goals. We should mention this, like we should have a high criteria of what we are doing, never giving up, like and like work on and think about day by day how to improve.
You're facing Monaco tonight. How special is it?
It's special, but also it's special. It was special when I started the job, like here. For me, it's like was really emotional, which I never show emotion. Same thing, will be with Monaco. I really left, like the really best memories, like from the city, from the people, like here. Even now, I really feel like being, part of Monaco. I think, like I left, a certain mark. I did everything, and I hope I succeed, like to leave a good impression as a man, as a friend, as someone, like people like. From the moment, I've been as a player and as a coach was the most important. Actually, this is everywhere I go. It's the same, like I always left the door open for everything what can come in the future. I miss, like the coffee, like in my favorite place. When I finish this in June, I hope, like first destination is there.
Monaco.
Yes.